While diesel remains the preferred powertrain for Sierra buyers, the next most popular option is the 1.5-litre naturally aspirated petrol, largely due to its aggressive price. After all, it is the most accessible way into the Sierra range. Question is, how does it perform and should you be interested in one? Let's find out. Tata's new 1.5-litre naturally aspirated petrol debuts on the Sierra. It makes 106 horsepower and 145 Newton meters of torque. Yes, these numbers are on the lower side, and here's why. This 4-cylinder 1.5-litre petrol engine runs the more efficient Atkinson cycle. Now, compared to a standard Otto cycle petrol engine, the Atkinson cycle version makes less horsepower. Usually, Atkinson cycle petrol engines are found in hybrid vehicles, wherein the electric motor makes up for the power and torque deficit. However, the Sierra isn't a hybrid, not yet. The good thing is that this engine develops its max torque at just about 2100 RPM, which means that on-tap responses are quite okay. For your point A to point B commutes in traffic, this engine does the job. That said, demand for a quick overtake, when you want to zip by the slow-moving traffic in front, now that's going to be a bit of a struggle. The power delivery once you cross to 2,500 RPM is quite flat, and on account of the 1400 kilo plus curb weight of this vehicle, performance is a bit underwhelming. Put your foot down and the build-up of speed is quite slow. This is not a car you'd want to drive in a hurry. To put its performance into perspective, this version completes the 0 to 100 km/h sprint in a leisurely 17.34 seconds. Its rolling acceleration times are even more telling. The good thing is that even at higher RPMs, this engine sounds quite nice and quite refined. Another plus side is that noise, vibration and harshness levels are really low. This is one of the more refined units out there. The 6-speed manual transmission found in this Tata Sierra is one of the smoothest and slickest units out there. The shifts are positive, the through action is very nice, and even the clutch pedal is on the lighter side, so it just makes driving that much easier. We also got a chance to drive the 1.5-litre petrol mated to the dual clutch automatic transmission. Now let me tell you that transmission has been tuned for smoothness, and smooth it is. The drive experience was smooth, step-free and seamless pretty much all throughout. The only downside being that the performance felt lackluster. This version gets paddle shifters for manual control, which you will have to use frequently when you want to pick up the pace. And the 0 to 100 km/h time? That's a little over 21 seconds. To curb fuel consumption, the Sierra gets an automatic engine stop-start system. Unfortunately, this system behaves inconsistently, sometimes failing to recognize driver inputs and not restarting automatically. Adding to this, the MID's fuel efficiency readout is programmed not to display figures below 8 kpl, which doesn't give an accurate picture. A hallmark of modern Tata vehicles, the Tata Sierra's ride and handling balance is simply outstanding. Even more so in this variant, which gets 17-inch alloys. The frequency selective damping in this variant, as well as the tall sidewalls of its high-profile tires, add a crucial extra layer of comfort and simply gobble up rutted roads and round off the sharp edges. Body control is impressive too, and despite its height and weight, the Sierra feels reassuringly stable through the corners. I quite like the steering too. Sure, there's no feel or feedback as such, but it's light and makes the drive very easy, especially while maneuvering this car in and around the city. Its 10.6 meter turning circle makes it very manageable in everyday urban driving. And now we move on to other aspects. This is the Adventure Plus variant that we are reviewing. In the petrol manual variant pyramid, it is one level below the top spec. Let's start with how it looks. The Sierra looks distinctive and it looks oh so desirable. Now, on account of its tall stance, flat bonnet, squared out wheel arches and the wraparound effect on the rear glass. Now, these are real callbacks to the original Sierra from the 90s. It gets 17-inch alloys. Now, as I've mentioned earlier, when it comes to ride comfort and bump absorption, these high-profile tires do a great job. However, these don't fill the wheel arches that well, and as a result, on account of its high ride height, you can see some of the unpleasant bits in the wheel wells. This version of the Sierra doesn't get a power tailgate. It is manual in terms of its operation, but the good news is that the boot opening height is much higher than in the version with the power tailgate, which is friendlier for taller adults. And the good news continues. You have a well-shaped, boxy 420 liters of cargo capacity from floor till the parcel shelf. Step inside and the design, the overall fit finish and the quality of materials feels like a huge step up for a product from Tata Motors. The grey color scheme, the silver finishes and the overall textures, they really enhance the cabin's premium feel. Now this gets the more conventional twin screen setup, but let me tell you, this screen is fantastic in its operation. The resolution, the touch sensitivity and the overall simplicity with which this operates, now that's really nice. The 360-degree camera stands out with some of the best resolution we've experienced in this segment, while the 8-speaker audio system delivers an impressive audio experience. Having a phone holder in the center is actually a very smart idea. Now this version doesn't get the wireless charging pad, but like the version with the wireless charging pad, the base of this area is hard and smooth plastic, and as a result, your phone will be moving around when you are on the move. Now, in the automatic version, there's no manual release for the parking brake, so you are forced to wear your seatbelt every time you start your journey. However, this version has the quick manual release, so when you want to quickly move your car around in your parking, this comes in really handy. Now, this version gets fabric seats. Now, they are quite comfortable for someone of my size and my height, and you also get adjustable thigh support, which adds to the overall comfort. Rear seat comfort is even better. In fact, it's the best among all midsize SUVs with generous legroom, excellent thigh support and a high seating position. Before moving on to the verdict, let's quickly glance through the equipment list. This Adventure Plus variant gets auto LED headlamps, a 12.3-inch touchscreen with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, cruise control, a Boss function and reclining rear seats. Opt for the fully loaded accomplished variant in the NA petrol range and you get leatherette upholstery, ventilated front seats and a head-up display among other additions. Coming to the pricing, the NA petrol manual priced between 11.49 and 17.99 lakh is the most accessible way into the Sierra range, while the Sierra petrol automatic sits at a premium of 1.5 lakh over a corresponding petrol manual version. In summary, the Tata Sierra is a very desirable package. It looks great, the interior is spacious and well equipped, and its ride-handling balance is among the best in the segment. However, this 1.5-litre petrol engine feels just about adequate in the city, but outright performance is lacking. This engine's refined, easygoing character makes it well suited for users who are looking for a comfortable, chauffeur-driven SUV for the city. For a more effortless drive experience, we'd strongly recommend you up your budget and go for the diesel or the turbo petrol versions instead.